Good day, Moriah. I pray that everything is well with you and your families. I just wanted to share something with you as we are about to witness and experience the blessings of Thanksgiving. As some of you are aware, during the Washington football team home games and away games, which take place at 1 p.m., I oftentimes go down to the McKenna Center on the campus of Gonzaga High School to participate in an outreach program sponsored by my fraternity, the Alpha Omega chapter of the Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, in which we spend time with the homeless men in fellowship watching the Washington football team games that occur at 1 o'clock. And in between the first and second half, we serve a meal and we eat in fellowship with these homeless men. In fact, year before last, the men of Omega Psi Phi in our congregation sponsored one of those Sundays in which our disciple Rhonda Smith cooked the food and we took it down to them and we ate in fellowship with them. It's a great time, a great fellowship. I went on yesterday and I was sitting beside a middle-aged homeless man. I can't remember his name, but I do remember much of our conversation. He's from Jacksonville, Florida, and he has been in the District of Columbia for about 20 years. And it was to this man in which I sat down and had the meal with yesterday. He was very, very particular in what he was eating. We had an array of food for Thanksgiving, as well as sandwiches and pies and cookies and that type of thing. And he asked exclusively for a meal that pertained to turkey. And so we had turkey and we had greens and sweet potatoes, etc. And we also had turkey sandwiches. So we made sure that his plate was filled with turkey, and he and I, we sat down and we fellowshiped with one another. A great time conversating with this homeless brother. As we were about to conclude, there was plenty of food that was left over, and I noticed something that was strictly against the rules of the McKenna Center. The rule of the McKenna Center is that those who come in to eat, they can eat and dine sufficiently while they are present, but they cannot take food outside of the center. I noticed that this homeless man, this brother, basically had a backpack in between his legs under the table, and he took out a large Ziploc bag, and in that bag he placed 2 turkey sandwiches. And at that particular point I knew it was against the rules, but there was something within me that said, leave him alone. He will possibly need that sandwich for another day, and all he's concerned about is making sure that he has food for his next meal. I began to think about how blessed I was and how blessed my family is and how blessed we are here at Mount Moriah to be able to decide what we will eat from meal to meal and from day to day, and how there are persons who are far less blessed than we are, and how it is our responsibility to make sure that we care for those who are in need. It reminds me on this Thanksgiving season of the message of yesterday, Deuteronomy 8, specifically verses 6 through 11, which talks about this new land, this land filled with milk and honey that God will bless the people of Israel with, a land that is flowing with milk and honey and dates, and figs, vegetables, fruits, also with iron and copper, and also with water gushing from the hills and the mountains and streams gushing with water. It will be a place in which Israel will have every need met unlike which they had when they were in Egypt. And then Moses says to remember God. Remember the God who has blessed them with everything, because they have no lack, they have no scarcity. And when they enter this land, praise God for allowing them to enter a land in which they need nothing. And then Moses says from God, do not forget the Lord your God who gave you this land. During this Thanksgiving season, and as we enter into this season of Advent, again, that is a good message for us. Remember the God who has blessed us with so much. We lack nothing. We have everything we need, and we have some of what we want. And in respect to that, we must praise God for everything we have and everything we need. So after Thursday, after we have eaten and are satisfied, let us praise God for everything that God has given us. And then on Thursday, after we have eaten and are satisfied, let us not forget the Lord who has blessed us with so much, because to forget the Lord and to forget the Lord's blessings is in fact a sin. So from the pulpit of Mount Moriah Baptist Church, and as your pastor, I do wish you a blessed Thanksgiving and a blessed Thanksgiving season. And I pray God's blessings upon you as we enter this Advent season. I pray God's abundance and prosperity upon you and your families. As usual, I thank God for this opportunity to serve you. It is my blessing to be your pastor. God bless.